Hi there, thank you for stopping by my channel. My name is Brownie. I hope these next 46 minutes will keep you entertained, help you unwind, or teach you something new. On My Movie Star Boyfriend, we analyze what kind of partner the leading man in some of the most memorable films would be in real life. To do this, I'm gonna break down everything they do, say, and show us throughout the film and assign a flag to each defining moment. A green flag for positive traits that would make a good partner, a yellow flag for unfavorable traits that would make a partner less appealing, a red flag for negative traits that would make a bad partner, and a red parade for harmful traits that would make a dangerous partner. At the end, we'll place them in a tier, anywhere from husband material to literally evil. In this episode, we're taking a look at Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey, covering the entire trilogy. Remember, everything I say in this video— that's my opinion! 50 Shades of Grey was released in theaters February 2015, adapted from a 2011 novel by the same name. It stars Dakota Johnson as Anastasia Steele and Jamie Dornan as Christian Grey. It was presented as a romance that centers around themes of sexual exploration, freedom, and S&M. I wasn't aware of 50 Shades when it first came out, mostly due to my age, and I wouldn't have been interested in watching it anyway. I saw it for the first time in 2022 or 2023 after watching the 365 Days movies, going down the Twilight Stephenie Meyer pipeline in reverse order. The movies were extremely popular when they first came out and still have a dedicated fan base. And haters. I'm not gonna say which side I'm on, but I think it'll become pretty obvious as we go along. The movie starts with Anastasia, Anna for short, meeting Christian at his office to interview him for the student newspaper at her university. Her bestie Kate got sick, so she sent Anna to fill in. Since this analysis is about Christian, we won't get too deep into Anna as a character outside of her relationship with him. Just know that she's incredibly annoying, desperate, and stupid.
No offense to her, but
at the start of every analysis, I assess what I'm calling the big three. Key attributes that give us a strong baseline for who this person actually is. Physical attractiveness, employment, and wealth. Is Christian physically attractive? Yes, as long as he's not talking or moving. Christian has what I'm calling high-profile employment because he's the CEO of his own company, Grey Enterprises. As CEO, he makes bank. The interview itself goes extremely poorly. Anna is unprepared, her questions are generic, and the vibe is awkward, which brings us to our first yellow flag.
Look at me.
I am.
Flirting with the college girl interviewing you for the school paper is not cute, especially when the vibe's been off the entire time. Back home, Anna tells her bestie about her interview. She's right that Christian is clean, but smart and intense. I think Christian is supposed to be seen as a mysterious, brooding alpha male character, and atrocious writing aside, Jamie comes across like the exact opposite. Originally, Charlie Hunnam, Think Netflix Monster Season 3, was supposed to play Christian, but he left because of scheduling conflicts and Jamie got the role. But there's a big difference between who Christian is supposed to be and who he actually is. Anna is working a shift at her part-time hardware store job when...
I thought it was you.
What the?
What a pleasant surprise, Miss Steele.
This scene actually scared me when I first watched it. The way he's just standing there and his weird smile.
I was in the area of business. Needed to pick up a few things.
The lies! There you go, this bitch. I'm telling you.
No, you weren't. The fact that he found out where she worked after only meeting her for 10 minutes is pure stalker behavior, and it's only going to get worse. After helping Christian locate a few seemingly random items, this interaction happens.
You're the complete serial killer.
Not today.
Coveralls, so you protect your clothes?
Could just take all my clothes off.
Electric chair.
This is when a yellow flag turns into a red flag because a photo shoot is arranged to get a picture of Christian for the school newspaper.
So is he your boyfriend?
Who?
The photographer.
Who are you? Who are you?
none of your business.
They go out for coffee, and it becomes clear that Christian doesn't know how to talk to people.
Eat.
Not to mention high-handed.
I'm used to getting my own way.
The date's barely started when out of nowhere Christian says he has to leave.
I can't.
What?
I'll walk you out.
Anna asks if he has a girlfriend, to which Christian says,
I don't do the girlfriend thing.
What is that?
Watch it! I'm not the man for you. You should steer clear of me.
then why are you caressing her cheek? Anna and her bestie are getting ready for a night out when a package arrives at her door. They're first edition copies of Victorian novels from Christian.
Honey, that is fine with me.
Anna told Christian she was an English lit major. He paid attention and bought her a gift she would actually appreciate. But how does he know where she lives? We haven't seen her tell him, and she clearly wasn't expecting to get these. Stalker behavior. Anna drunk dials Christian from the bar she's at to complain about his hot and cold behavior, and he tells her to go home.
Listen to me. I want you to go home right now.
Shut up!
You're not Anna's father, you're not Anna's friend, you barely know her. And newsflash, a bar is typically a place where people get drunk. Anna's friend Jose gets the liquid courage to admit to her that he likes her. He tries to kiss Anna despite her clearly saying no, and Christian comes from out of nowhere to push him away. It's great that Christian got him away from her, but again, how did you know where she was?
I don't know. I really don't know.
She did not tell him the name of the bar she was at. Anna throws up and Christian tries to get her home, but she doesn't want to leave without her bestie. Christian says his brother is already inside talking to her. Why did you get your brother involved in this? Anna gets her barf breath all up in Christian's face.
If I can smell your breath, you're too close.
Then she passes out. She wakes up the next morning in a hotel room with a care package from Christian. Christian walks into the room and she asks if he undressed her. He admits that he did because her clothes were covered in vomit. I'm not sure how to feel about this. It would have been gross if she slept in her vomit-covered clothes, but she doesn't really know Christian, and he's weird. Anna doesn't seem bothered by it, but she's about as smart as a 12-year-old, so I'm undecided. Tell me how you feel in the comments.
If you were mine, you wouldn't be able to sit down for a week.
What?
I gotta go take a shower.
This interaction comes, say it with me, completely out of nowhere. It's intrusive, and his behavior up until now is enough for me to declare him socially inept. Anna asks why Christian brought her to his hotel room, and he gives her a BS answer.
Why am I here, Christian?
You're here because I'm incapable of leaving you alone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay.
We already know he knows where she lives, so he could have just dropped her off, and if he was really that concerned, he could have slept on the couch. Christian tells Anna he's not like other girls and continues to act like a weirdo.
I would like to bite that lip. I'm not gonna touch you. Not until I have your written consent.
I don't know why he's saying that when we've already seen him touch her several times, and they end up making out in the elevator anyway.
Laters, baby.
Christian takes Anna up in his helicopter, and Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding starts playing. One thing these movies got right is the soundtrack. There's several iconic and beautiful songs. They arrive at Christian's penthouse, and it's gorgeous. But Christian, not so much.
I don't make love. I fuck.
What? Child. Anyway, so.
Christian invites Anna to come to his playroom.
Like your Xbox and stuff?
This is where the movie takes a turn and those sexual themes I mentioned at the beginning come into play. I won't be showing anything graphic because this is YouTube and I wouldn't want to anyway, but I will be discussing them, so take this as a mini trigger warning. Christian opens the door to his playroom and it's a massive sex dungeon. Having a sex dungeon the size of an adult entertainment set in your home is beyond creepy, and Christian's behavior amplifies this.
I'm a dominant.
What does that mean?
It means I want you to willingly surrender yourself to me.
I'll talk about how terrible and dangerous these movies' portrayal of S&M is, but I'll save it for the end. Just know that most of what Christian says and does is really unhealthy.
Why would I do that?
To please me.
And everything about this scene and the way Christian interacts with Anna is beyond creepy, and the fact that he says it all with a straight face tells me he's disturbed. Anna tells Christian she's virgin, highlighting that pernicious purity trope that's pervasive in these types of narratives. They have sex in one of his bedrooms, and the scene is explicit. These movies show you practically everything, barring a full frontal, but you can see Jamie's pubic hair in a couple of them. Personally, these types of scenes make me very uncomfortable, and I usually skip them, but I know I'm in the minority because they're becoming a lot more common. Christian gets out of his bed to practice his piano, and Anna walks up to him to start round 2.
Very irritated right now.
Let's keep track of how many sex and sex-adjacent scenes are in these movies. The elevator makeout counts as 1, so this brings us to 3, and then unsexy sponge bath brings us to 4, followed by another sex scene which brings us to 5. Christian's adoptive mom interrupts them by dropping by unannounced, and Anna throws on one of Christian's shirts to meet her. Anna is interested in Christian because she's slow and wants to know if they would go out to dinner and movies if they got together.
It's not really my thing. Try to keep an open mind.
Dinner and a movie is a bare minimum ask, which Christian isn't even willing to do, and yet he tells her to keep an open mind. These are the kind of subtle, real-life relationship dynamics you need to keep an eye out for. Anna says she wants to leave, so we get to see Christian's car collection. They drive down the highway while Earned It by The Weeknd plays. I feel like Love Me Like You Do is the most iconic 50 Shades song, but Earned It is the more iconic song in general. They walk down a nature trail.
It smells like sage up in this motherfucker.
And Anna asks Christian how he got into all of this. He tells her that it was one of his mother's friends and that he was only 15. It went on for 5 years and no one in his family knows about it. Christian still talks to her and says that she's his friend. This scene completely recontextualizes Christian's character and the entire series. Experiencing sexual abuse as a child is deeply psychologically damaging and helps explain the whys behind Christian's abnormal personality, creepy behavior, and sex life. Christian is an adult victim trying to navigate through life with childhood trauma that he never got any help for. This doesn't excuse or change any of his actions, but it helps us understand why he does them. However, the movie never discusses it like this. It's barely seen as a problem. Christian is framed as sexy and dominant, and his sex life is desirable and liberating, and that is not only problematic but dangerous. To present this character and eventual relationship as something people should want. Unfortunately, diegetically and as a viewer, things get progressively worse from here. Anna expresses doubts about getting into this dom-sub relationship with Christian, so he tells her he never had sex with anyone in his own bed before or slept next to anyone, only Anna.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
This feels emotionally manipulative to me. I think Christian only tells her this so she feels special and is more likely to agree.
Later's baby.
Christian sent someone over to set up a brand new MacBook for Anna because she told him her computer wasn't working, which is a nice gesture, except Christian didn't tell her he was doing it, nor did he ask. In my opinion, this is another example of overstepping boundaries, because even if he wanted it to be a surprise, he could have given Anna a heads up that he was sending someone to her apartment. Anna starts reading the sex contract, no, I'm not joking, that Christian gave her in the car. It's several pages long and lays out a bunch of ridiculous terms and conditions that she would have to follow. It doesn't even refer to Anna by her name.
The submissive will not drink to excess, smoke, or take recreational drugs. The submissive agrees to procure oral contraception from a physician of the dominant's choosing.
Bye, Felicia.
Anna puts it on the back burner and Christian keeps pestering her, eventually telling her to look up submissive. She sees a bunch of explicit images and sends Christian an email saying it was nice knowing him.
Thank God.
And this is where the movie should have ended, except we're only halfway done.
Christian.
It's been nice knowing me, has it?
How did did he get into Anna's room? Did Kate let him in, or did he break in? Because it's not made clear. Regardless, going over to someone's house unannounced after they rejected you is grounds for a restraining order. But somehow this cracked movie glosses over this and they have sex again. After a painful 2 minutes, we see how uncomfortable Christian is with being touched. He actually grabs her wrist to prevent her from touching him, and he promptly gets up to leave.
I told you, I don't sleep with anyone.
Can we negotiate?
Christian only cares about what he wants in a relationship. Even in that massive contract, there wasn't a single condition for Christian. They were all for Anna. They have a business meeting at Grey Enterprises to discuss the sex contract, and the lights are off for some reason. Anna begins striking parts out of the contract that are hard-nosed.
The submissive shall submit to any sexual activity demanded by the dominant and shall do so without hesitation or argument.
The fact that he wants to control you that way makes me scared.
The fact that Christian put that in writing shows you how depraved he is. They continue striking things out, and each time it happens, Christian does so begrudgingly.
What a f***ing loser!
In that spirit, I'm gonna throw in a sweetener. How about once a week, on a night of your choosing, we go on a date?
If it wasn't already obvious by the differences in age, wealth, and experience, this scene lays everything out clearly. Christian grants Anna 1 date a week for her commitment to the meeting, like he's rewarding a 10-year-old for behaving by giving them a piece of candy. 1 date a week is nothing compared to the laundry list of demands Christian has, and Anna isn't allowed to add anything to it. Only Christian can. She can cross the bow, but I'm sure there's several things he wouldn't let her. Even though this is a very literalized version, this dynamic happens in a lot of relationships. You end up agreeing to everything your partner wants, and they give you the bare minimum in return, but frame it as a huge sacrifice. Anna leaves without signing the sex contract, but no time to think about that because it's graduation day. Christian gives a speech that nobody cares about.
Excusez-moi.
Anna walks across the stage to accept her degree, and selfish Christian asks about the sex contract again.
Excuse me?
Christian won't leave Anna alone, and he finds her at the post-ceremony celebration. Kate introduces Christian to Anna's father and refers to him as Anna's boyfriend, which Christian surprisingly doesn't object to. They return to Anna's apartment for a celebratory drink.
Roll your eyes at me again, and I would take you across my knee.
Shut up! That is so stupid!
Once you've witnessed and digested all of Christian's previous horrifying behavior, you realize that he's really irritating. Christian takes Anna outside to show her the new car he got her as a graduation gift. Just like with the MacBook, Christian gave no indication that he was doing this, which would have been fine if he didn't sell Anna's old car.
That little boy better stop playing with me.
The only reason he did this was to be controlling, because Anna never said she was looking to sell her old car, and Christian obviously didn't need the money from the sale to buy her a new one. After making it through a cringy spanking scene, we're gifted with a full-on sex scene. This is the first one that takes place in the playroom, and it's far too long. Since this is a movie with heavy sexual themes, it makes sense, but every single time it's cringy and unappealing. The whole thing is done to a crappy Crazy in Love remix, and you'd have to be crazy to be enjoying this. They get dressed and Anna shows how much of a terrible dancer she is. Either Christian is smiling because he thinks Anna is cute, or Jamie's trying not to laugh. It's impossible to tell because Christian/Jamie is constantly making weird faces. They head over to Christian's parents' place for dinner, and we're introduced to Christian's sister Mia, aka Rita Ora, wearing a terrible wig.
Okay.
Anna mentions that she's going to visit her parents in Georgia and she's leaving the next day. Christian gets mad at Anna for not informing him and makes up a BS excuse to leave the table.
You're mine, all mine, you understand?
This line is said in almost every Wattpad book talk dark romance story, and it's not sexy. It's weird and cringy, and in this case, actually scary.
As a man, like, you shouldn't be talking.
Anna gets frustrated with Christian and says she needs more from their relationship.
Hearts and flowers. That's not something I know.
Christian tells Anna he had a rough start in life and that's all she needs to know. Because she's an idiot with low self-esteem, she eats up all of Christian's breadcrumbs. Later, Christian comes into Anna's room while she's sleeping and starts opening up.
The woman that gave birth to me was a crack addict and a prostitute.
Nobody asked.
This scene is really embarrassing. There's nothing vulnerable about opening up to someone who's asleep because, newsflash, they can't hear you.
That's what you are. You full of Now take that to the bank and cash that damn check.
Makes it to Georgia and is enjoying brunch with her mother when once again...
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Christian is at least polite with Anna's mother, and I think we've seen enough to say that he's a polite person. But this is exhausting. Anna jokes about breaking the stupid sex contract by drinking, and Christian snatches her Cosmopolitan out of her hand.
Parasite.
Christian tells Anna he had dinner with the woman who abused him and says that she's the one who told him to intrude on Anna's vacation.
Did I suspect anything less from this bitch?
He takes Anna on a plane ride and she somehow forgets that she's upset. Anna's mom tells her things don't get any easier, and that is a perfect piece of foreshadowing. Christian's driver picks Anna up from the airport, and instead of trying to get with him, she has sex with Christian again. After they finish, he starts playing a sad song on the piano.
You were 6 when you learned. Was it because you wanted to please your new family?
Christian is incapable of opening up to Anna unless she's asleep. Christian and Anna start arguing because he refuses to be vulnerable but wants Anna to follow all of his rules.
I would never do anything to you that you couldn't handle.
But why do you even want to do anything to me at all?
Answer the question. Answer the question.
Christian says he wants to punish her right now. Mind you, this is an adult he's talking about. And he blows up.
Why do you need to?
Because it's the way I am!
Dare you speak to me that way? How dare you?
Christian can't process his emotions without screaming or shutting down. Anna asks Christian to punish her and show her how bad it can be so that she can understand him. This barely makes any sense. We have to sit through another unbearable sex scene, and when Christian tries to help her up, she freaks out and pushes him away. I would like to show this clip, but she's completely naked. Christian is shook, and Anna walks out in tears. For some reason, she doesn't go home and starts crying in Christian's bed. He sits down on a chair next to her, and she says he'll never do that to her again. She tells Christian she fell in love with him. Somehow. Christian tells Anna she can't love him, and I don't know if that's supposed to mean he can't believe she loves him or he doesn't want her to. My guess is the latter. After spending the night, she leaves the MacBook Christian bought her on the table, so now Anna has no laptop and she asks for her old car back. Christian says he'll send her a check in the mail for the amount he sold it for, and she leaves.
Stop. No.
Anna gets into the elevator alone, and that's the end of the movie, and what should have been the end of this heinous series, but we still have 2 movies left.
I want it to end. I want it to end.
Even though all 3 movies are bad, 50 Shades Darker is the hardest to get through. Loads of gratuitous sex, annoying characters, and a plot that's barely coherent. We begin only a couple weeks post-breakup, and Anna has started her first job as an assistant at a publishing house. Her friend Jose, the one that tried to kiss her in the first movie, has a photography exhibit that's open to the public, and Anna goes to support him. Except when she arrives, she sees that half of the exhibit is photos of her.
It's getting weird.
And to make things weirder, someone buys all 6 of them. Of course, the only person who would be interested in buying giant photos of Anna is Christian, who, just like Vanessa from Gossip Girl, shows up when no one wants him there. And his reason for buying them isn't because he thinks they're beautiful, but because he doesn't want strangers gawking at her. He wants to talk and won't take no for an answer, so they have dinner, and surprise, he wants to get back with her.
Did I suspect anything less from this bitch?
The real surprise, however, is Anna's reluctance. She calls out his sadistic ways and says that's still in him. Seeing that things aren't going his way, Christian decides to trauma dump and tells Anna the things he said while she was asleep last movie. Ignoring what she just said, she takes him back and they make out.
Are you insane?
Christian gives her back her MacBook and adds a rose gold iPhone to her Apple device roster. Seeing that phone made me nostalgic because it reminded me of the rose gold craze of the mid to late 2010s. You could not escape rose gold back then. It was everywhere. Technology, accessories, furniture. I had an iPhone 6S around this time, although mine was regular gold, not rose gold. Anna walks out of her office building as she's going out to have drinks with her boss when some creepy girl walks up to her and knows who she is.
I'm sorry, have we met before? It's okay. I'm nobody.
Before Anna can even have a sip of her beer, Christian just happens to walk into the same bar and makes her leave. This level of control, where you begin to lose your autonomy, is incredibly unsafe and intolerable to witness. Christian surreptitiously mentions wanting to buy the publishing house Anna works at, which she has a problem with. But this movie is about sex. While Christian and Anna are sleeping, it looks like someone is watching them, but when Anna looks, no one is there. Anna wants to give back the check Christian sent her for selling her car, but he brags about making that money every 15 minutes.
Oh, really? That's nice.
And tells her to keep it. She rips it up, so he calls her bank to have the money directly wired to her account. She asks why he has her bank account information, and of course Christian doesn't answer. I would be adding more red flags, but these aren't actually any new ones for me to give. Even though these are different instances, Christian's behaviors are the same and thus have already been flagged. They go out for breakfast and Anna notices creepy girl watching them from across the street.
I just want a black coffee.
She tells Christian and he seems to know something but says nothing. He invites Anna to a charity ball hosted by his parents and takes her to a salon to get her hair done, failing to mention that the salon is owned by the woman that abused him.
You're so disgusting. You're a piece of
Anna calls him out and Christian tells her that they're in a business together, which means he's probably funding the place. He also admits that he took his old subs there, which is beyond repulsive. Anna pieces together that creepy girl is one of Christian's old subs, and he tries to get her to go back to his place to talk, but when she doesn't want to, he tries to pick her up and carry her.
Okay, you can either walk or I can carry you.
You wouldn't do that.
It's your choice.
Okay, fine. Your behavior and the way you treat people is not okay. You are nasty and you need to be stopped now.
I could have given this one away way earlier, but this scene makes it scary. Christian gives Anna a file on Creepy Girl, aka Leela, and no, I will never refer to her by her name. She looks through it and gets Christian to hand over the one he has on her. It's several pages long and includes photos of her she had no idea were taken.
How dare you? Oh my god!
This is where you officially find out how Christian knew where she worked in the first movie. By watching this video, you already know that he's an obsessive stalker. We also get confirmation that Christian did go ahead and buy the company Anna works for, and she calls the relationship an ownership. It is, but she chose to get back with him and refuses to leave. Christian takes his shirt off and Anna starts drawing on his chest with lipstick, which causes him to flinch and have difficulty breathing. This scene makes no sense. While getting dressed for the charity ball, Christian puts vaginal beads up Anna's Hello Kitty and makes her sit through the entire event with them still in use.
I was just beside myself. I mean, I was just so disgusted.
The only word I have for this is gross. Because the writing is vacuous and this movie thinks it's okay to waste our time, we get to see Christian and Anna having sex upstairs. While Anna tries to clean herself up in the bathroom, Christian's abuser strolls in and tells her she and Christian will never work. Anna storms out and she gets Christian to leave with her, but when they get back to his penthouse, Anna's car is trashed. Because of that, Christian decides that it would be safer to sleep on one of his boats, which I don't really agree with. Why not go to a hotel? And since Anna's car isn't going to be the only undeserving victim, we have to suffer through another sponge bath. Christian tells Anna that his mother died of an overdose and he was with her when it happened. Of course, there's no mention of any psychiatric or psychological help. Back at work, Anna texts Christian to let him know that she's going to NYC for a work event with her boss, and his response is a no. She makes it clear that she's not asking, she's telling, and after an unsexy sex scene, they have a discussion. Christian reiterates that he doesn't want Anna to go to New York, but says if she really wants to, he'll take her himself. Because Anna is a spineless twit, she agrees to back out. To Christian's surprise and great satisfaction, she gives her boss Jack a BS excuse as to why she can't go, and he tells her off.
I don't want to waste my time training someone who doesn't take this position seriously.
Things escalate very quickly and turn into an attempted essay. Anna is able to escape his office by kicking him in the nuts and shoving him to the ground. By the time she's home and showered, Christian has Jack fired.
Hides out. He's been fired. I know the CEO. I told him what happened. You'll never have to see him again.
I think this is Christian's best moment in the entire trilogy. He asks Anna to move in with him, and she says she has to think about it, which she does very quickly because a couple of scenes later she says yes. Because Christian is incapable of holding a conversation for more than a few minutes, he asks Anna to take off her underwear while they're eating in a restaurant. She does it and hands it to him across the dinner table.
What's that smell?
They get into an elevator full of people, and Christian starts playing with Anna's Hello Kitty.
Social awareness, I do not see. Respect, you have none.
These two scenes make me feel physically ill, and I'm not exaggerating. As if this movie hasn't been traumatizing enough, Creepy Girl breaks into Anna's apartment and holds her at gunpoint.
She went berserk. She crossed the line.
Christian enters the apartment and does some mind control to get Creepy Girl to give up the gun. I can't even begin to describe how cringeworthy this is. Anna exits in tears and runs away for a few hours. If only she ran away for good. When she gets back, Christian tells her that Little Miss Crazy has been taken to the psych ward, but Anna says his mind control tactics scared her more than the person with the gun. Christian catastrophizes and begs Anna not to leave him. Then he gets on his knees and sits in a submissive pose. Just like with the lipstick, it's weird and makes no sense. However, it leads us to a shocking reveal.
I get off in punishing women who look like you.
Like your mother.
You are gonna go to hell. You are gonna go to hell.
I do appreciate that Christian is willing to admit this, and he says he knows how fucked up that is, but it's still revolting. The fact that his hatred for his mother manifests itself in an aggressive sexual way is incredibly disturbing. Because the writers couldn't think of a good ending to the scene, they decided to have Christian and Anna make out. Anna steps out on the balcony for some fresh air when Christian starts yelling in his sleep. She wakes him up and he asks her to marry him. Anna thinks he's still dreaming for obvious reasons, but turns out he was fully awake and aware when he asked her.
I want to marry you.
Why?
At this point, Anna and Christian have only known each other for about 2 months, and they haven't had a stable relationship period that lasted longer than 2 days. They have a morning breath makeout and discuss Christian's upcoming birthday that he doesn't want to celebrate. A couple minutes into the movie later, Christian is flying a helicopter over a mountain range on his way back from a business meeting when the engine goes out. This is a very abrupt change from a viewing perspective, and it doesn't do anything to advance what little plot we have, but Christian is able to stay completely calm and in control as the helicopter crashes into a river. Christian is reported missing by the Seattle News, and even though this would be a lovely place to end this dumb series, he walks through the front doors completely unscathed. And I gotta give it to him, that's very impressive. Anna has Christian open his birthday present, which is a keychain that says yes on the back of it because she didn't actually agree to his marriage proposal. This is followed by a shower sex scene and a trip to the playroom, which brings our count to over 20, and we still have 1 movie left. Christian's parents decide to throw him a birthday party despite him not wanting one, and he announces his engagement. Christian's abuser starts shit with Anna because she's mad about their engagement, and Anna responds by tossing her martini in her face.
Oh my god! I thought this was a classy party.
Drenched and humiliated, she gets kicked out of the party, and Christian tells Anna he's done with her for good. He gives Anna a proper proposal, and the movie ends. Christian is just as terrible, albeit less moody, and Anna is every bit as dumb. But because you're already used to his atrocious behavior, you start focusing more on their relationship, which is when you realize that they have nothing in common and only talk about sex and their trauma. But is that going to stop them from getting married?
I don't think I can do this anymore, you guys.
The answer is no. Christian and Anna being married does have an effect on the overall vibe, but 50 Shades Freed is still up to the same BS as the previous movies. After their wedding, Christian and Anna begin their honeymoon in Paris, and of course that includes a sex scene, but thankfully this one is only a few seconds long. They spend the second half of their honeymoon in the south of France, and Christian's acting like a completely different person. He's smiling, laughing, and genuinely seems relaxed.
Who are you? Who
are you?
This is the only time we've seen him like this in the nearly 4 hours he's been on screen, so it's a bit jarring. Maybe listening to Haley Steinfeld sing capital letters changes a person. But because we don't want to have too many changes, we get another sex scene. An employee from Grey Enterprises video calls to tell Christian someone set the main server room on fire, and by looking at the security footage, Anna is able to tell it's her old boss Jack, the one who tried to SA her.
Surprise, bitch.
This is a massive reach because the recording is way too low quality for her to be able to recognize him from that much of a distance. Even the close-up is blurry, but for plot convenience, she does, and they fly home early. Christian hires 2 personal bodyguards to protect Anna, and they have a conversation about kids. Anna asks Christian if he wants to have any, and the topic makes him uncomfortable. He says he would like to eventually, but he's not ready to share Anna with anyone yet. This is a conversation that should have happened before marriage, but because they only talk about sex and their trauma, I guess it never came up. Anna has a meeting with Tyler Hoechlin from Teen Wolf to discuss his new novel. Christian, seeing that Anna is talking alone with another man, decides to interrupt it.
Pleasure to meet you.
Absolutely. Do you mind? I need a word with Miss Steele here.
No, actually, no, we're not finished.
Good-looking guy.
If you can't handle your wife talking to other men at work, you shouldn't be married. Side note, characters and actors' personal lives separate. I would probably choose Tyler if I had to pick one out of the 2. They're both attractive, but Tyler has a slight edge over Jamie in my opinion. What do you think? Let's be messy in the comments. The reason why Christian is at her office in the first place is because he sent an email to Anna Grey and it bounced because she still uses Steele for work. She says she'll think about changing it and tells Christian he needs to shave. He takes her advice, then brings her to the lakefront mansion he bought as their first home. They have sex in a car, and Anna gives Christian an unnecessarily sexual scalp treatment. She finds the gun that creepy girl threatened her with in Christian's desk, and he says he'll get rid of it. Things are going well until Anna stays out late for drinks with her bestie and misses 6 calls from Christian.
Hey, bestie.
Anna tells one of her bodyguards not to rat on her, but he tells her he already did.
Excuse me?
Anna walks into a dark room and she realizes the lights aren't working. She turns on a lamp and Jack leaps out from the shadows and holds her at knife point, which makes him the 3rd person to break into someone's home. I guess we get 1 per movie. Anna's bodyguards disarm him almost immediately and she speaks to the police about it. Anna walks into the shower with Christian and tries to give him an HJ, but he says he can't and walks out. News of the break-in gets to the press somehow, and one of Anna's co-workers, Liz, is acting overly concerned about it.
She won't shut up. It's awkward.
Yet another playroom scene, but this time Christian goes overboard with a vibrator and Anna has to use the safe word. He admits that he wanted to punish her for staying out late with Kate, proving that he's still the same loser from the previous movies. He eventually apologizes and says he had a dream that Anna died laid out on the concrete, which, foreshadowing, Anna gets a phone call at work and answers as Grey instead of Steele, because of course she's going to do what Christian wants. He's standing outside her office to take her on a trip to Aspen. They get on the private jet and Anna's friend and in-laws are on it too, because Christian knew she wanted to see more of them. At the chalet, Christian starts playing the piano and singing poorly.
Maybe I'm amazed at the way I really need you.
Maybe I've heard enough.
No one can bear to listen to him apart from Anna, and he sings about how Anna was the only woman that could ever help him. I hate when writers try to put out the message that being in love will fix a broken person or getting loved by the right person will heal you. It won't. Christian is the same broken person with the same set of problems. None of his past traumas and potential mental health issues have been dealt with because Anna isn't a psychologist or a psychiatrist. They share a bubble bath and Anna has a nightmare about Jack. Since both of them can't sleep, they hang out in the kitchen and engage in the cringiest food fetish scene with a pint of Ben & Jerry's. No matter the circumstance or scenario, every single sex scene in this movie manages to be terrible. I don't know how they were able to make a movie about sex so unsexy. Anna goes on a hike with Christian's brother Elliot, where he admits that Christian was mute as a child and physically violent, which is unsurprising. Then she comes back so Christian can fondle her. Kate gets engaged to Elliot, who just like Anna and Christian have only known each other for a few months. Christian and Anna make out in the club, then do more in the playroom. Anna attends Jack's hearing incognito and his bond is set at $500K. She throws up in the courthouse bathroom, and whenever a character throws up, it means,
You're pregnant, Mrs. Grey.
That's a shame. What the heck you do that for?
Anna wasn't taking her birth control regularly because she's irresponsible, and I'm not aware of any other hobbies her or her husband have. She blurts out the news in the middle of a conversation with Christian, and he freaks out.
I wanted to give you the world. Not diapers and vomit and shit. You really think that I'm ready to be a father?
No, and Anna doesn't either, but she says they'll just figure it out. Christian says he's not ready to and storms off. Anna sulks alone in the penthouse to Deer in Headlights by Sia, which is my favorite song in the entire soundtrack. Christian stumbles home in the middle of the night and Anna tries to help him get to bed. He starts making off-color comments.
Babies mean no sex. We have an intruder. You'll choose him over me.
Then he passes out. Anna looks at an incoming text message from Christian's abuser, who he went to see when he stormed off. Anna avoids Christian for most of the morning until he comes into her closet while she's changing and she calls him out.
I told you we're just friends.
Last movie he said he was done with her for good, but clearly the door was left wide open, metaphorically and literally. Anna is devastated and Christian says he'd never cheat on her, but she says he did emotionally. She brings up comments he made last night and says she'd choose the baby over him because that's what a decent parent would do.
I said what I said.
Anna gives Christian an ultimatum and says they can either raise a child together or she'll do it by herself, but he doesn't seem to care and only wants to know what's going to happen to their relationship. She implies that she'll leave him, which is enough for Christian to say he's sorry.
Okay, she doesn't mean anything to me.
Have you learned nothing?
This is one of the lamest excuses you could possibly give. Anna doesn't buy it and she walks out, the fight ending unresolved. At work, she gets a call from Mia, but surprise, it's actually Jack. He somehow managed to get released on that $500K bond and kidnap her. He demands Anna get him $5 million in 2 hours or he'll off Mia.
Men are supposed to work!
Anna drains Christian's bank account and makes it to the drop-off location. We find out that Anna's coworker Liz is helping Jack because he's blackmailing her with an unconsensual sex tape. Instead of taking the money and leaving, Jack rages on Anna, slapping and punching her in the face.
Thanks for fucking up my life.
To make sure she's in as much pain as possible, he also kicks her in the stomach. As cruel as this is going to sound, this is my favorite part of the entire trilogy. Jack is deranged, but Anna is one of the most insufferable characters in modern film. Because this video is focused on Christian, you've been spared for the most part, but she is easily as unbearable to watch. Anna takes out Creepy Girl's gun and shoots Jack in the leg, which means Christian lied and never got rid of it. Speaking of, Christian and the police arrive and Anna is taken to the hospital. In her recovery room, Christian tells Anna he wants to have the baby with her, that he was just scared. Then he says this.
I wanted your world to begin and end with me.
It does. Christian, it does. You're my whole life.
Even though it sounds romantic, wanting someone's life to begin and end with you and having your life revolve around them isn't healthy. Christian sheds a tear and climbs into Anna's hospital bed. Christian visits his biological mother's grave for the first time and lays flowers. Love Me Like You Do closes out the movie with Anna sending Christian a cringy text, followed by an even cringier scene in the playroom. But the actual final scene takes place during the credits, a few years into the future. Anna and Christian's child Teddy is already a toddler, and she's pregnant with their second. They live at the lakefront mansion Christian bought and seem like happy parents. Before we tier rank Christian, I'm gonna remove the red flag for emotionally unavailable. Throughout the movie, especially the final scenes, Christian has learned to share more of his emotions, and seeing him with Teddy makes me think it's no longer a problem. In total, Christian had 15 green flags, 0 yellow flags, 12 red flags, and 12 red parades. The 6 tiers I use go from A to F. A for husband material, B for boyfriend material, C for potential hookup, D for a waste of time, E for ain't shit, and F for literally evil. A, B, and C are for when a character's positives outweigh their negatives. D, E, and F are for the inverse. It's obvious which half Christian is going, and with the overwhelming amount of red flags and parades, Christian is literally evil. Even though things look empty right now, my intention is to add more faces in the future. So would I recommend these movies? No, they're not even good on a hate watch. The Twilight series is more eventful and the 365 Days trilogy is funnier, but as an audience there are still a few things we could take away from 50 Shades' terrible example, mainly around power and control and relationships. As I said earlier, Christian's dominance and uncompromising personality are presented as passionate and desirable. Even though he's less inflexible and uptight by the end, these characteristics are still supposed to be part of Christian's appeal, and a lot of people found him appealing and fantasized about being the Anna in a relationship like this. However, in real life, this kind of dynamic doesn't end with a happy family. It ends with you suffering the long-term consequences of emotional abuse. What the movie calls dominance is actually a severe power imbalance. Christian is older, wealthier, and has more life experience. He's a high-status businessman. Anna is still in university when they first meet, giving him a disproportionate amount of control over their relationship. Anna's work, travel, social life, and even her body are subject to Christian's interference. She essentially has no autonomy or leverage in this relationship. If Anna pushes back, it either leads to conflict or a compromise that is ultimately on Christian's terms, giving an illusion of freedom while keeping control intact. Their sex life is an extension of this. Christian sets the rules and expectations, which are centered around his pleasure and desires. Anna has no personal reference point for what a healthy relationship looks like because she has no experience outside of Christian. So even though she agrees to this dynamic, she's doing so without fully understanding it and without having explored other options. That context matters when we look at Christian's part in this as well. His own introduction to S&M happened when he was a teenager, at a point where he couldn't meaningfully consent, and instead of processing that harm, he goes on to repeat a similar cycle with Anna. For BDSM to be practiced safely, it has to be something both people want to do, not easing, pressuring, or gradually conditioning your partner into doing. Consent and understanding need to be clear from the start, with specific boundaries around the sexual experience. You cannot consent to being stalked, manipulated, or placed in danger. For a series that has 33 scenes related to sex, and props to you if you manage to keep count, it sends a very dangerous message about what safe sex and consent actually look like. A relationship centered around sex will leave you emotionally unfulfilled. In real life, this kind of dynamic won't make you feel empowered or liberated. It will leave you vulnerable, subject to someone else's control, and at the mercy of how they choose to treat you. I know that this was long, but if you made it this far, thank you for watching. It means a lot to me that you did. If you'd like to see more from me or show your support, please like and subscribe. And remember, keep your standards high.